what's up. Please don't jam the line. Try not to jam the line, because if you jam it, it's just not going to work for every one of us. Thank you very much, guys. Now I'm going to be pinning that number to YouTube as well, or to Facebook as well, so that people can actually ask the question on Facebook as well. While we're waiting for that to normalize, let me try and get the father that called earlier on back. People are calling already, so I'll give it to you guys. So let's pick this gentleman first, because he's the first one. He was there waiting straight away. I don't know what happened to him. Okay, let's forget about that one. Let's go back to this our father that I believe is watching with so much keen interest. It's been a big honor to have somebody like you in our midst. Sir, you were asking a question before we lost you earlier on. Go ahead, ask your question again, sir. Or you were saying something?
Yes, there's no question for my brother. Mazi and I are brothers. This is Mogaji, and he knows what I'm saying. We cannot give too much away. I just want to say a big thank you to my brother for honoring this call, and that on this journey, of course, we are together, and God will bless all of us in our future endeavors, and may God crown all our efforts with freedom. On that, there will never be a compromise. The two are going to go together and actualize their dreams of independence, the result to which we, and by our address, that's the result to which we are addressed, to the result that we shall accomplish. And let it be said that on this particular day, history was made, and I am glad to have been part of it. Thank you so very much, and God bless you all.
Fantastic, thank you.
So thank you very much.
It wasn't a question.
You said your prayers. Thank you.
There's no point in trying to answer a statement. It was just a statement to tell us how they work very hard. Let's pick this one from +727. Caller, your name, where you're calling from, and very, very quick question. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Good evening to my great leader. My name is Ikenga Oluago, and I have a very special question for our leader. Some of our pastors, especially in Biafra land, have become so xenophobic in nature. So I want to know, what should we do to such people? Those who have made it possible, like they are doing everything humanly possible to make sure that the actualization of Biafra is impossible. So how should we treat such people? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. What we do is that we give such a person the IPOB treatment, because by virtue of what they are doing, let us understand, when somebody comes out to say, I am against IPOB, I'm against Biafra, or by extension, I'm against what Oduduwa agitators are doing, what that human being is saying is that they love the terrorism going on in Nigeria. What they are saying is that they love the unemployment going on in Nigeria. What they are saying is that they love the fact that 4 refineries can be shut down with the attending loss of jobs, and refined petrol brought in from abroad at such huge exorbitant prices, a depletion of the nation's foreign reserves. What that person is saying is that the Fulani can come and rape and kill at will, that they are happy about it. What that person is saying is that the army and police of Fulani extraction can come into our land, kill innocent people and get away with it. What they are saying is that they are Fulani slaves. What they are saying is that they want us to continue to live in servitude and oppression. Such people, quite frankly speaking, doesn't deserve to live. But because we are peaceful people, if they have come to perpetuate our existence in the misery that is Nigeria, we shall also make their lives miserable.
Thank you very much. Caller, go ahead. Your name and where you're calling from, sir.
Okay. Hello. Good morning, my leader, my able leader, Mazi Nandekano. Good morning. I'm calling from Malaysia.
Go ahead.
Good evening from here.
So my name is Ofod Meme. I'm from Imo State, Ida that or not? My question is this: I have been calling you Friday interactive to because I had that we not leave zoo, but instead the invaders or the trainers, they will leave zoo for Igbos. Now, my question is this: what is the preparation of John Nayangodo in case if the invaders or the Fulanis refuse to leave the zoo for Igbos or refuse to leave for Igbos? Is there any preparation? Did Nwodo have up to 1 million people or 500,000 people to chase the invaders or the Fulanis out, as he said that we Igbos will not leave the zoo for the foreigners, and instead the foreigner will leave the zoo for Igbos? That is my first question. Then my second question is this: what are we going to do for all these pastors that perpetrating because of the money, because of tithes, and the selling ourselves? Because now I noticed that Tony Nadi NLC are the one sparring anywhere that IPOP members are having meetings in the East. They are the one. Tony Nadi is in the forefront with all the criminals that he's training to pointing family meeting to zoo, what do you call it? Zoo security agents like DSS and military or police. What can we do to make sure that all these people bring to justice? Thanks so much. This is my question for now.
Thank you. Can I say something before you answer, sir? I know it's a question for you, but what I'm saying is that people should not ask questions that will truncate what we're doing. Whatever we want to do, we can't keep discussing it in the open air because it's not going to help us. Please, let us bear that in mind and ask questions that makes sense. I'm not saying your question doesn't make sense, but there are some few things we need to bear in mind, that we need to ask questions that will not give anything away to the idiots we're dealing with. Thank you. Is there anything you want to add to that, or should I just go to the next one?
I think you've answered it. What I want to add is that when people make statements, then we hold them accountable to them. So if anyone saying that they're not going anywhere, he said that the Fulanis will go, then when the time comes, you ask them what they have done in relation to Uzo 1 and all the massacres that the Miyeji carried out in Enugu State. You find out that it's still the same story. Nothing is happening and nothing will happen. And more Fulani settlements in our forest are springing up every blessed day. And coming to the issue of our society, leave people to their conscience. As I said, IPOB, we command the attention, loyalty, and devotion of 99.9% of our people. When you're used to counting in millions, what is hundreds to you? So we always win. Thank you.
The next caller, please go ahead. Yeah, your question, please. Make it very, very brief. Yeah.
Yes. Am I on now?
You're on now. Yeah. He can hear you, but you might not hear him. But I think you can hear him. Yeah.
Okay. My name is Paul Oni. I'm calling from Abeokuta in Ogun State, Nigeria.
Wow, brave man.
Yes, it's wonderful having you here, and I commiserate with you that you lost your parents in this struggle. Some of us have also lost one thing or the other over the years. So it's wonderful for a people that have identity, nationalities to go on their own. But my own worry, and the worry of some other schools of thought, is that just like the Catalonians, that they have struggled and struggled and struggled, how do you see us achieving this goal? That is one part of the question of the Oduduwa Republic, the Biafra, and the other nationalities in this country, especially those up north that are suffering, that they are being killed on a daily basis. How do you see us achieving it? If we do a rally on the 1st now, everybody goes back home, nobody can maintain it. Let's not deceive ourselves.
Nobody can continuously do these rallies and be on the streets 24 hours every day. They will bring out the military and everybody will go back home. Now, how do we eventually achieve this? The Yorubas have gone to the UNPO. How do we go further? How do we achieve this? When we have a country that is legitimately, constituted as a nation, who has the power of the military, power of the forces behind them. That is one part of the question. The second part of the question is, what do
Daddy,
you think?
can I stop you there, sir? Can I stop you? You can only ask one question from now on because of time. And
it's the same question, but the second one is very important too.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Very, very important. The second school of thought says that, okay, when Jonathan was there, why didn't he put his own people all over the places too? These people have put their own people all over the places. In 2023, if an Igbo man becomes president or a Yoruba man becomes president, if they also put their own people all over the places, build rail lines like they are building a rail line from Kano to Niger, we also link all our places and develop our places. How do you see that as an option? Thank you very much.
Thank you, my dear brother, for calling. On your first question, how do you sustain this very effort is how we have sustained it over the years. Consistency is what gives you victory at the end of the day. Mandela was in jail for 26, 7 years. Consistency, eventually he won. And we do concede, of course, that the lives of Steve Biko died in the process because blood will be shed, people will die. That is the nature of the beast that we are facing. But that shouldn't deter you. That was exactly what we did. That was why the white man came in, and should I say Europeans, and divided the great Yoruba nation into three. Some Yoruba people are in Togo, some are in Benin Republic, some are in Nigeria. And I ask you to go to England and tell me in how many countries you have English people. They are in one country in England. In how many countries around the world do you have, even Switzerland, that is a combination of France, of Italy, and of Germany. They all have the right to independence. I was in Geneva. I saw Geneva. Geneva has the right to become independent tomorrow morning from Switzerland if they want to. The canton system they have is a very loose form of devolution. Now, let me tell you this. People in Africa, we always put fear first before we do anything. That's always fear. The army will come. Listen to me very carefully, please. Britain was very mighty, but George Washington defeated them. America is the greatest country in the history of humanity. The longest running civilization since the man set foot on this very earth. But they went to Vietnam and they were humbled because the Vietnamese were fighting for their land. When you fight for your land, you don't get tired. Biafra was able to hold out against Britain and the rest of the world for 3 years with nothing because they were fighting for their land. People must understand this. What you're suggesting, what you're implying is that Fulani terrorism should continue unabated. What you're suggesting is that what they are doing, what Mietiala is doing, raping and killing, it could be your daughter tomorrow. Yesterday it was Pachuranti's daughter. Tomorrow it could be your own daughter. How would you feel?
That's right.
So you're telling me that you're prepared to hand over your freedom to a bunch of marauding, nomadic terrorists just without a fight because you are afraid, because you don't know what might happen. Let me tell you something. You have heard about Arab Spring. You've heard of every revolution in the world. One thing that Biafra and the Oduduwas are going to accomplish now is to have the first genuine mass uprising in the history of Black Africa. If it means we have to stay on the street for a year, then so be it. Are there no Yoruba people in the army or police? Are they going to kill their own people? Are you telling me that Biafrans in the army and the police fighting against a tidal wave of terrorism is going to kill their own people to protect Fulani interests? Anybody who is for one Nigeria is a Fulani apologist. If you believe in one Nigeria, that means you want Miyetti Allah to control your life. And it can never happen. Now, let me tell you what we're going to do. You are now about to see pressure. sustained. It's called civil disobedience. Martin Luther King used it in America, and it worked. We go to our libraries, we write theses on this, we write projects on this, but the implementation is the problem. That is the issue with a black man. To implement that thing they have read is always a difficulty until we came and change the narrative. It's called civil disobedience. There are many ways you can disobey the government without breaking the law. And if you don't do it, the world will not understand how dire and critical your condition is. These are the things you must appreciate and understand. Coming to your next question, you appoint, if you like, my dear brother, if you're the president and you appoint every Yoruba person in the world into your cabinet, NEPA will still not give you light 24 hours a day. The schools will still be very, very poor. Do you know why? Because of the institution upon which Nigeria rests. Nigeria is resting on corruption, ineptitude, and mediocrity. Even if Jesus were to come down from heaven to be the president of Nigeria, things can never improve. That is the way the place is. And let me ask you a simple question. Did your grandfather or your ancestors create Nigeria? Who created Nigeria? The man that created Nigeria to serve the interest of his country, not your interest. And you, as a black man, you have come to sustain such falsehood. And that is why you cannot develop. That is why you have no electricity. That's why you have no good roads. That's why you have no housing. That is why if you graduate, there are no jobs. Because we as black people, we don't go back to the root of the problem. We always prefer cosmetic, outlook, or should I say outcome. The fact of the matter is this. With this new alliance now in place, the zoo will crumble. And I hope there will be no election in 2023. You know, when I was calling for election boycott, people don't know the meaning of it. They don't know the meaning of civil disobedience. Imagine if we had boycotted elections in 2015 or 2019. Do you think, what do you think will happen? By now, that restructuring that some of you are calling for, they will be begging you to have it. Because nobody voted, and the world will be asking, why didn't they vote? They are angry. Only then can the world step in. This is just simple common sense. And I'm sure we can remain resolute enough to carry this thing to its sweet conclusion, I would say. Thank you very much.
Mr. Moderator, sorry, I have one word for Paul Oni. Can I just give him the word? I can hear you.
Okay. The guy, Mr. Alagbala, on this one, could you go ahead quickly, and I will be taking Morris after that. Please, caller, because of time, my brother has been sitting there for a long time. The line is now closed. He will be back here very, very shortly. The two caller I have on the line now is the two caller we're going to take, and I'll bring you back to the studio. Mr. Alagbala, could you go ahead, please? Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. First, I want to greet the great leader, Nnamdi Kanu, MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. Thank you very much for honoring this. This is a history in making, as they say. I only have one question, but before I ask that question, if I may say, and borrow from the word of Disraeli OTT, who said, education makes people easy to lead, but difficult to govern. Easy to rule, but impossible to enslave. You see, the level of education of our people is why we're getting some of the opposition we're getting. I don't want to mention name, but somebody was asking how, why. I don't think this is a platform for that. The question is Nigeria a divine creation? No. Then who created it? Anyway, I don't want to waste our time with that. My question is regard to amalgamation. We have just started this agitation in Yoruba land, and we're getting conflicting reports about the amalgamation. Some are saying there's a clause that says it lasted for 100 years. I read an article by Babangida that it was there. Clearly, he said Lord Lugard amalgamation was only supposed to last for 100 years. Our leaders, our elders in Yoruba have not told us anything. We have not seen it. I know you have been in this struggle for a long time. I know you are a lawyer, a very respected, learned person. We're watching how you are taking meticulous decision. So you must have known something. Can you shed more light with us now, the Yorubas? What you know about the amalgamation? We know who signed it, when they signed it. Is there a clause? And if there's anything in that amalgamation that can help our cause and our plea in the international community. Thank you very much, sir. Heritage, thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, my dear brother. First of all, let me make a correction. My deputy HMFO is a lawyer, not me. I'm not. I am a political economist. I am not a lawyer, but I did do some laws as an elective as an undergraduate. Now, coming to the amalgamation document, that very part of the document, has been destroyed by the British. The only thing we have is the commentary on that very document written by Lugard himself. Lugard alluded to that very document as a footnote in his main the thesis he wrote about amalgamation, the reason why he did it. Now that document we've been looking for, we have not found it. But there was another written correspondence from Lugard to the Secretary of State for the Colonies, making reference to that very part of his recommendation that the zoo should last for only 100 years. But we have never found it. The same way they have destroyed most documents relating to British atrocities during the Biafran War. The same way they have destroyed this very one, because it is in the interest of some people in England to evacuate Nigeria. It's their creation. They are very happy. You know, when you train a child and that child is a graduate, are you not very proud of that child? The same way they are proud of Nigeria is our creation. So if you go to England, they will say the most populous black country in the world, we created them. They didn't create themselves. And anybody, if you don't have shame, anybody who has shame in life will say no to it. Because your ancestors never did, the British did. So that very part of the amalgamation document, alluding to this 100 year span, the same way it was in Hong Kong, is not there anymore. It doesn't exist. If you go to look for it, you won't find it. It's been destroyed. We have the piece of document alluding to it, but the original document itself doesn't exist. That does not in any way validate one Nigeria, because my village did not sign. Ibeco did not sign for the amalgamation. We have the names of those who signed for it. We did not sign up to that rubbish. And mind you, when the United Company came with their charter, they vowed not to tamper with the way of life of the people or match them. That was the original royal charter of the Royal United Company until they changed it. So Nigeria is
wow.
And the British. Thank you very much.
Okay, the last caller now is a gentleman from Togo. Okay. Could you please maintain the level of noise behind you, please? Go ahead. Your question?
Okay. Yes. Good evening.
Go ahead.
I have two questions for Mr. Nnamdi Kanu, please. Number one question is this. We are having a lot of influx of Northerners down to South. They are coming in, day out. So my question is this: wouldn't their influx down to East affect a referendum if it's there to come? Wouldn't those steady influx of Northerners affect any referendum should any come in the future? Then number two question: since we have lost confidence on Ohaneze, is it not possible for the IPOB and other interest group to come up with a better apex group that can represent us better in foreign or Nigerian affairs? Thank you. Good evening. That's my two questions.
Thank you. On your first question, it will not affect it, because before any referendum or plebiscite is conducted, there must be parameters that will be agreed. And you cannot just bring somebody, a Janjaweed, to come in who hasn't lived in our land for 5 years, not on the voters register, and then you want them to go and participate and vote. I know I've mentioned voters register, and I know some influencers and baby saboteurs will start saying, oh, but you don't want people to go and register. When the time comes, before a referendum is conducted, of course, the register will be opened up, and people will now be allowed to go and register. And if you have not been done in the land, I think that's the international standard. Up to 5 years, you're not allowed to vote. And I'm sure that a referendum will come sooner rather than later. So they cannot vote. Coming to Ohaneze, that is, Ohaneze as an institution is fine. It is the people inside it that's making it look bad. So I do believe very strongly that, when this present crop of very corrupt, compromised leaders are out, then we'll have the likes of our own version of Baya and Jehu there and speaking the truth every blessed day, not minding whose ox is God. That is the type of men we need. Mbasilika Mejis of this world. People stand up and speak the truth always. Not when you speak the truth, you get a call from your body and then you start messing yourself up the next day. No. And I'm sure it's going to happen. We want to leave that office in the next 4 months. Maximum he's up. And a new breed will come in. And may God help them if they mess up this time around. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, our formidable leader. We really appreciate your effort. We thank you for what you've done today. It's been a lovely day, a great day in the history of mankind, because this is the beginning of something good to come that will deliver us. A force that will truncate the effort of the zoo government that will give us what we're looking for. I would like to sincerely and privately thank MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, who has been with us for the last 2 hours or so, 2.5 hours nearly. I want to say a very big thank you for coming today. Should we arrange another one for the future time, or should we leave that one and arrange that one privately?
Hopefully it will be, we'll have one close to when the time the referendums will be held, or referenda will be held, both in Biafra and Duduwala. I will be glad to come, yes.
Great. Thank you very much for that analysis. Guys, I want to say a very big thank you for you even watching the program. And I'm sorry we couldn't answer all the calls. The calls, I probably have about 638 missed calls already. I'm sorry, guys. Your last word, Olayomi Koiki.
I must say a good, thank you once again for making it out. And I'm sure, Heritage, Mr. Adetamo says, the future is brighter. And like I have already put a stand on it, we will not hold election in 2023.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you very much.
I didn't hear you, but of course, I would say as a part in short that it's a very great time again listening to your very good proposal for freedom for your people, and we believe very well that by God's grace the Oduduwa nation, the Biafra nation, very soon will emerge. Thank you very much again. And it's a pleasure actually having you here. Thank you.
Thank you. You're kind.
Thank you.
Okay, it seems he's muted his mic. We can't hear him.
We lost your voice.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
I'm sorry for
back.
that.
Yes,
About the referendum,
you can now, yes.
The title of the referendum is Protecting the People of the Southern Nigeria from Fulani Genocide. And it says, are we going to wait around and see another Rwanda happening in the southern part of Nigeria? What will you advise or will you advise more people from the East to also sign this referendum as a way of pushing something, the petition, as a way of pushing it forward? Over to you. Your last word as well, along with it, so that we can let you go.
Thank you very much. What I would suggest is that we actually expand it to include the Middle Belt as well. The Christians of Southern Kaduna that are suffering, and these are Hausa people. Also, the Bachama people of Plateau State are also suffering. The Kidis are suffering. Everyone is suffering. And since we are genuine and sincere about our intention to free everybody, it is my humble suggestion and recommendation that this very petition be expanded to include those who inhabit that very treacherous terrain, or should I say, that been made treacherous by the Fulani people, so that the Middle Belt should also be part of this very petition, because they too are suffering, and we want them to be free as well. Very, very critical, and that petition will be signed by all who would campaign, and it will be signed by all. Anyone who doesn't sign it, that means that you're giving us a way to Fulani Janjaweedism, and it's not a type of condition that we would like to live under. And by way of closing remarks this very evening, I want to thank Heritage. I want to thank the Yoruba One Voice all over the world, the Yoruba World Congress, everybody who has made it possible for us today to interact in a way that a few years ago would have been deemed impossible. That goes to tell you that in life, or should I say in politics, nothing is impossible, everything is possible. Our goal is one, our mission is one, and that is freedom. Not just freedom for Biafra or for Yoruba, but for every trapped nationality within the damnable zoological republic. And that is the solemn pledge that we're making this evening, that we will not stop until everybody is set free. I thank you all once again for listening and for watching us from wherever you are around the world. And until we meet here on this platform elsewhere, good evening from here.
Nice.
Well, it was a very nice broadcast from every one of you guys. I want to again thank you, all the people that have taken their time. I know your time is very precious and your data is very important as well, but the most important thing is your freedom. Your freedom is more important than anything else in the whole world. I want to thank everybody who has been listening. I want to thank everybody who has been watching. I want to thank everybody who has supported this program. From everybody that tried to call in and couldn't get in. I'm so sorry that you couldn't get in, but it's just the way things run. The petition has been pinned underneath there. I will amend the headings tomorrow so that we can move on and get it signed to the right figure. Once again, the leader of the IPOB, MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, we thank you for coming. Guys, until again we come your way again, I remain loyal to this and committed to this struggle. And Heritage Television remain committed to free everybody that want freedom across the black African states of Nigeria. We don't want to be part of it again, and we will not be part of it again. From everybody in the studio today, and from me, we want to say thank you very much, and God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you.
Okay.
What a very good show.
Can you?
Another Savior, holy, 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 another Savior, holy, 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 holy. Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPOB families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 France to victory. Inyamadika, yabika kwa namno wow. Hey, ana mekele mazuche mefo. Manemo, it's an honor having you on board. When I'm singing along, holy, 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 it's another Savior. Holy, holy, it's another Savior. When I sing along, holy, 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 it's another Savior. Getting it right and getting it faster now. It's another